to hear the confess to murder. If you want to try to do better than this, that way, if you want to try to lose the counsel.
After declining the counsel of an attorney, Aileen Wuornos confesses.
These guys would take my office. But then they did it was sometimes, you know, and so when they started to get wrong with me or whatever, I just like opened up and fired. I wasn't enough of the reason. I know that I don't want my girlfriend involved because this is why I'm doing this. He did not do anything, and I'm trying to make this clear. That's why I'm doing this.
When I moved to Milwaukee in '81, I started reading pornography, going to the bookstores. Eventually that led to frequenting the gay bars. And then one time I brought this young man back to the hotel room, the Ambassador Hotel. Was just planning on drugging him and spending the night with him. I had no intention of hurting him. When I woke up in the morning, he had a broken rib here, was heavily bruised. Apparently I had beaten him to death with my fists.
And you have no memory of it?
I have no memory of it. But that's what started the whole spree all over again. I'd go to the nightclubs, drink, watch the striptease shows. And if I didn't meet anyone at the bars, I'd go to the bath clubs and meet someone there, offer them money, and we'd go back to the apartment, have a few drinks. I'd have the sleeping pill mixture already prepared. Person would drink it, fall asleep, and that's when they would be strangled. These obsessive desires and thoughts wanting to control them, to, I don't know how to put it, possess them permanently.
And that's why you killed them?
Right, right. Not because I was angry with them, not because I hated them, but because I wanted to keep them with me. And as my obsession grew, I was saving body parts such as skulls and skeletons.
Nicholas, you told us that you'd been arrested for involuntary manslaughter. Was that the charge?
That was the ending charge.
What was the initial charge you were arrested for?
First-degree murder.
Okay, and just briefly tell me the circumstances regarding that charge, or what caused you to get arrested for that?
I shot and killed my wife.
Okay, and where did that occur at?
In a gravel pit outside of Nenana, Alaska.
At that point in time, you believed that your wife was fooling around on you, is that right?
That's correct.
And why did you believe that?
There was men's clothing that I found in our trailer.
Nick Notaro talked openly about the murder of his wife, so Detective Benson steered the conversation toward the case at hand.
How did you end up getting the job up there in Healy?
The way I got the job up there originally was through Renee's boyfriend at that time.
What was his name?
Joe.
Joe. Okay. And what, can you remember Joe's last name?
No, I don't.
But he was...
Joe was Italian.
Italian, okay. What else do you remember about Joe? He was Italian.
In fact, not that much.
Notaro claimed his memories of Joe were fuzzy, but his body language told detectives otherwise, so they kept pressing him.
We've now got him talking about Joe.
We've got him talking about Joe getting a job up in Alaska. We've got him talking about Joe being Renee's boyfriend. And every time he would mention Joe's name, he would scoot back a little bit in his chair. And pretty soon, Detective Wood and I are sitting at this table in this room, and we look, and Nicholas is across the room. And I asked him, I said, "Nicholas, where are you going?" And he kind of had a moment, and he looked around and brought it back over to the table, and we continued with the interview. Did you ever see Joe down here? After Renee came down here, and 'cause she was living in Alaska for a while.
Right.
And then you said she and your mom moved down to Washington?
Right.
And that's where you came and visited them?
Yes.
After you killed Vicky?
Right.
On April 28, 2016, authorities in Wingo arrest Kelly at the home of her cousin. With Kelly in custody, detectives from both Hobart and Iron River make the drive to interview her at the Graves County Jail.
Initially, Kelly portrayed herself as being absolutely distraught about Jason's death, but once investigators really started talking to her, her attitude changed. It became very clear that her love was not for Jason, and in fact, it was for Christopher.
However, Kelly says that before she and Chris could run off together, Jason discovered the affair, and that on the night of October 13th, 2014, she and Jason got into a heated argument, one in which Jason invoked a bizarre promise the couple had made to one another a decade earlier.
Kelly and Jason made a pact on their wedding night that if either of them was unfaithful, whoever was unfaithful would be responsible for killing their lover.
Kelly said it was done in jest and nothing serious, and she never thought that Jason would take it seriously.
However, Kelly tells police that Jason did take the promise seriously, and he told her that if she didn't take care of Chris, then he would.
Jason was going to go through with it and kill Chris, but Kelly felt like she needed to help him. Otherwise, she would not only lose Chris, but she'd lose her husband as well because he wouldn't know how to go about it.
To me, that's just crazy because I have this pact with my husband. I have to now kill this person. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
She lured Chris over that night, told him, "Come over, we'll have dinner, we can have sex." Kelly's story was that they were actually engaged in sex at the top of the basement stairs when Jason, who was at the bottom of the stairs in the basement, shot Chris in the back of the head. After Chris was killed, Kelly's story was that they dragged the body down into the basement and that Jason had dismembered Chris's body with a reciprocating saw.
His remains were put into several different garbage bags, and his remains were scattered in the woods.
As for the death of her husband, Kelly confesses that by the time she and Jason had buried Chris's remains and dumped his car, she was already planning his murder.
Kelly claimed that Jason took away the only good thing in her life.